Brentford manager Thomas Frank was in the studio on Sky Sports last night for that coverage of that game. And he spoke of a few things, interesting things, but I guess the main talking point was about their star striker, Ivan Toney. And he said that he could be sold if the price is right. He is currently banned from playing football until January, but is allowed now to train with the club. Here's Frank on Sky Sports Monday Night Football last night talking about Ivan Toney.
Imagine him in a top team, easily score 20, 25 goals, but he's a Brentford player now, and if people want to come, and with today's market, the prices for number 6 position players, and we all know that goal scorers or attackers are the most expensive one. I guess that would be very expensive.
If I'm a Brentford fan, I'm livid with that. I'm livid. There's a couple of things that he said there that's got me really angry. Number one, it looks like he's gone already then, what he said there. And then he said, imagine him in a top team. Yeah. I know like Brentford's not a top team. Yeah. As a Brentford fan, I know, but I don't want my manager to say it to the world. Because Ivan Toney's done this already, hasn't he, himself? He's been on yachts having a dig at Brentford. Your manager's now come and said, imagine him in a top team.
I think all he's saying...
You can't say that.
I think you can.
You can't say that.
But even the most...
You say, I want to keep him at all cost. He's our guy, and we want to go for Europe, and we've got to make sure we keep our best players in the squad. This isn't Brentford of a couple of seasons ago. He used to sell all their players.
I think you're approaching this through the prism of being a fan of a top team. Through the prism of being Liverpool, you are looking at this situation. Even the most tribal, biased and partisan Brentford fan knows that they are, at best, a championship club, really. Like, nobody thinks that...
No, they're an established Premier League club now.
Of course they're not. Brentford.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no history of top-flight football. Like,
No. Was it 2 seasons in now? They're all right.
No. Look, they're a brilliant team. And football being a meritocracy, they've earned their right in the Premier League. They certainly deserve to be where they are. But they aren't an established Premier League team. They are a tiny club.
He's basically come on Monday Night Football, all the eyes of the world watching it, and put his striker up for sale.
I've lived in...
That's what he's done. That's what he's done, by the way.
I imagine he knows. I imagine he knows what he's doing. I think Brentford will be fine, by the way, with or without Toney. Yeah. We've seen this time and time again with Brentford. You know, when they lost Griffin Park, we assumed that they were going to really struggle, and they were fine. When they lost Christian Eriksen, we assumed they were going to really struggle, and they were fine.
They do lose them, but
they're fine. They're not quite as good as Brighton.
They're not as good, but they are Brighton.
But there's a comparison. But I don't think he said anything particularly shocking there. When you're Ivan Toney and you possess the quality that Ivan Toney possesses, like, let's remember, Ivan Toney is the closest thing to a guaranteed goal scorer that you can sign, really, in the Premier League, that you can realistically sign. So it's all very well going, Mohamed Salah, you can't sign Mohamed Salah. Erling Haaland, you can't sign him. In terms of the players that are available, now Harry Kane has gone, now Harry Kane has made the move, the player that you can realistically sign if you are a top-tier club that can guarantee you goals.
Oh, okay, then let's play this game. Is he the next best English striker? That's what you're telling me.
He is the best striker available. It's not about being English.
Everyone's available.
No, it's not. No, Erling Haaland's not available.
No, I'm saying English. I'm talking English. It's not an English striker.
He is
in the league.
He is probably the next best English striker. But the other thing that he is, I'm not saying that Ivan Toney is a better player than Victor Osimhen. I'm not saying he is. But what you get from Toney is a guarantee. Ivan Toney can score goals in the Premier League. That is non-negotiable. There is nobody can query that. And I believe that Victor Osimhen would land here and score a bundle of goals.
Do we not need to have seen that for a period of like 3 or 4 seasons?
I think we've seen it.
To say guarantee.
No, we've seen it for long enough. Everything about him oozes goals. He is so capable of doing the business in the top flight in this country. Yeah. He is an excellent goal scorer. Such variety to his game. The right level of arrogance.
Perfect age.
Perfect age.
27's perfect. You're not a kid. You're going to go straight in there and do it.
He's a guarantee. When you sign footballers, there are no guarantees. When Chelsea signed Andrei Shevchenko, everybody said he would score goals in the Premier League, and he did. You know, the way that he is viewed is slightly misleading. He was a decent enough striker for Chelsea, but it wasn't what we expected. There is always jeopardy when you sign a player that hasn't played in the Premier League before. There's always jeopardy whenever any signing happens, but Ivan Toney is about as guaranteed as you can sign. I think Chelsea should really be in the market for him because we need him.
Is he better than Ollie Watkins?
He's a better goal scorer than Ollie Watkins. No? Yeah, I think he's a better player than Ollie Watkins overall. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. How much?
How much do I think he's worth? Yeah. So he's 27 years old.
27 years old.
He's going to have a year
and a half left. Year left. What's he worth on the market today?
70 million quid. 65, 70 million.
Yeah.
I can't see Brentford selling him for much less. But then realistically, actually factoring that in, I can't see Brentford turning down 60 million.
No chance.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.